Dan Williams, Survive Outdoors. Chilly, cold, 30 degrees up here in northern Illinois. And around British Columbia, I think, Canada, 41 degrees below zero right now. Pretty ugly. Severe hypothermia warnings out and frostbite warnings for people traveling. They stopped a lot of traveling up there. So today, that's what we're going to do. And next week, I'm going to have about 3 different videos on hypothermia. This way I don't do one long video and bore you to death. So we're going to break this up. 1, because it's long. 2, because it's like the most important of all of the survival videos I've done due to how many people die every year of hypothermia. Approximately 700 people a year die of hypothermia. So unfortunately, it's fairly common. In 2006, Mount Hood, Oregon, I consulted for Fox News on the 3 hikers that ended up perishing up there. One was found in a snow cave and they died of hypothermia. And being the media that they were trying to basically move me in a direction and kept asking me questions. Well, surely they still can't be alive at this point. And they were trying to drive me into a direction of drama, and I just wouldn't go there because these people had families. And it was a very dire situation. So hypothermia, today we're going to address specifically the signs and symptoms of that. So what is hypothermia? Hypothermia is when your body loses heat and you can't generate enough of that to maintain a healthy stance, a continued living, working, walking, and be comfortable. And the definition by temperature is around 35 degrees centigrade and around 95 degrees Fahrenheit. That and below, then you're hypothermic. There are 5 different ways that you can lose heat. 5 different ways you can lose heat, and they are radiation, and that is heat radiating from your body. For example, not wearing this and not having hair, on average, you're going to lose greater than 50% of heat through your head. Me, probably losing 90%. So hat is extremely important. Second way is conduction, and conduction is immersion in water, freezing water, 32 degrees and below. Conduction and immersion in water, you're going to lose 30 times the heat faster than any other way. I mean, it is a really, really quick method it is a dire situation. It's a quick way to death. For example, if you fall in the water and it's 32 degrees or below, you basically can start hypothermia in less than 2 minutes, and you can become unconscious and die in less than 15 minutes. So this is a dire emergency. So conduction. Convection is the third way, and that is where in a very windy area, and this is where wind chill comes into play. Evaporation would be next, and evaporation is exactly that. It is perspiring and losing heat that way. So a combination of sweating and a cool wind, and you can get hypothermia through evaporation. And the last way is respiration. You lose moisture through your expiration when you breathe. So those are all the ways of heat loss and hypothermia. Clearly, there are things that can exacerbate all this. Not being dressed well. Then there is obviously not being layered for the temperature that's out there. Certain medications, alcohol, endocrine disorders, thyroid disorders, diabetes. Certain conditions will make you more prone to hypothermia. Extensive burns. I'm not talking about just a burn on your hand. We addressed burns in a previous video, but an extensive burn is going to run a real risk of hypothermia. Down in Florida, there are individuals that die, the elderly. So extremes on the age continuum, little bitty babes and elderly, high risk for hypothermia. So signs and symptoms in mild hypothermia, you're going to find yourself shivering, goosebumps, bluish skin, numbness to the tips of your fingers. You're going to vasoconstrict in your extremities. You may be slurred speech. So maybe you're going to see slurred speech at times, like I just did. Clumsy. You're going to be more clumsy. Fine motor coordination is going to start to go. This occurred to me about 15 years ago in January. I was deer hunting in a local park and bow hunting, and it was about 10 degrees above zero. Was not dressed well. Could not really get into my vehicle with the keys. Thank God I had a partner, and that was a little nerve-wracking. So I experienced that. Now, my temperature in mild hypothermia was not below 95. So you can experience some of these symptoms with a 96, 97, just so you're aware of that. So that's mild hypothermia. You get some of these basic symptoms that probably a few people out there have experienced. Moderate hypothermia, you're going to see where the shivering stops, extremely fatigued. You can get facial swelling. And then comes this interesting phenomena. You get terminal burrowing, and we'll explain what that is, and paradoxical undressing. So forensic experts have ran across dead individuals who have died of hypothermia. They're either completely naked, partially naked, in freezing temperatures, basically damn near on top of each other, and under a log or under a fallen tree in some burrowing fashion. So what happens? Well, you can hallucinate. You can start having some real psychiatric issues. It does affect the brain. You initially will have more urine output, and then your urine output will decrease. So this is called paradoxical undressing and terminal burrowing. And what they found is that these individuals, when they get to severe moderate, on that fringe of moderate to severe hypothermia, that they do this burrowing and they undress themselves. And there's no definitive reason why that happens. Pretty intriguing. So some of these individuals that have died, police says, oh, well, this was definitely a murder scene. No, not at all. They died of hypothermia. In severe hypothermia, what we have is asystole, no heart rate, breathing stops, rigid muscles, and people still do come out of this. I think the record, according to the CDC, is a body temperature measured rectally of 47 degrees Fahrenheit, and they came back with minimal brain damage. Pretty impressive. That is grossly the exception. So the signs and symptoms here are basically death for the most part, or appears to be dead. And we have a car coming by. Hang with me, hang with me. So that's kind of like the third stage. So in the severe hypothermia, you basically are gone, appears to be dead at that last stage. So the question arises, are there 3 stages of hypothermia, or are there 5 stages of hypothermia? And in the medical field, we basically have 3 stages of hypothermia. However, if you really want to get specific about it, yeah, there's probably 5 stages. So the next video, I am going to address specifically 5 stages, what are they? And we're going to talk about the treatment, not the treatment in an urgent care or in an ER. We're going to talk about treatment in the outdoors. You can't get back. Your partner has moderate hypothermia. What can you do? And we're going to show you some really creative, unique ways to get warmth back in that body. Really important video, so don't miss that one for sure. We've got some demonstrations coming up. All right, stay warm. If you liked it, thumbs up. Subscribe so you get notified for everything. Our website's up, surviveoutdoors.com. Keep your eyes on the horizon, your face to the wind, and keep it out of the snow. Take care.